Hey and welcome to my channel. So I am back with a new video today. And today I am going to talk about masturbation. So please, Dad, if you're watching this, please click away now, because this might be a bit too much information. Anyways, I posted on my Instagram story and I put up some topics and what people wanted me to talk about or not talk about, and yeah, actually quite a lot of people wanted me to discuss this topic. And then I'm particularly obviously talking about female masturbation because I am a woman. So, and I feel like there's a lot more taboos around like female masturbation, like it is not talked about. And it should be, because it's normal. So let's start with, what is masturbation? So it's touching yourself for sexual pleasure, basically. So, you know, and it is, I'm just gonna emphasize this again, it is very normal. If you're watching this and you think you're not normal, you're very normal. Also, if you don't do this, you're also normal. But yeah, there's like this weird stigma, I guess, around it, this taboo about, especially women, to like not talk about it. Because, I don't know, even with friends, I don't think a lot of women talk about it with friends either. Because I've only recently, you know, met some new people, kind of made a new group of friends, and we're pretty open about sexual stuff. And then I realized, like, why do we not talk about this stuff? Like, we were very openly talking about like sex toys and stuff, and I'd never done that before with anyone in my life, and I'm 26. So I was like, if I am not talking about it before like the last 2 or so months, there must be other people out there who feel the same and they don't feel like they have anyone to discuss this with. So, or they think they're weird, or they're the only one, because you don't hear people talk about this. Sorry, I just need to adjust myself. You don't hear people talk about this, so I figured I'll do it. And yes, I do feel a little bit awkward. I know I shouldn't, but you know, it's a bit weird if like your neighbor and your grandma and your uncle and your parents can watch this video and know this stuff about you. But, you know, for the greater good of other people not feeling alone, I'll suck that up and I'll just discuss this topic. Because there were a few people that didn't want me to talk about it, but you know, then just don't watch the video. So yeah, so, you know, touching yourself is sexual pleasure. And I feel like for women, I don't know, you're kind of shamed. I guess women are generally kind of shamed for being sexual in any way. So, you know, I guess this just falls under that as well, because it's actually quite normal even for kids to do this. And it's basically shut down immediately, because, you know, as you might know or not know, I've worked as a nanny for like 8 years and stuff, and I've seen a lot of stuff, I've heard a lot of stuff, I read a lot about this stuff. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups where we discuss these things, and it's very normal for kids, boys and girls, even when they're like 3 years old, to just like, they don't know what they're doing. They just think, oh, this feels good, and they just do it. And then it's like kind of shut down immediately, and they're shamed for it. And that's where it starts already, that you feel shameful about your body, which you shouldn't. I think the first time ever that I can remember, I don't know, maybe I did it when I was like little, but the first time ever I can remember I was probably 10 or 11. And actually the reason wasn't sexual at all. So I got my period when I was like, I think I was 10. And somehow like the insurance company or something, they sent, like the health insurance company, they sent like this package, and it had like pads and like information about periods and like tampons. So that was the first time I saw a tampon, and I was like, where does this go? Like, that was basically it. Where does this go? Where does it fit? How does this work? Because no one explained this to me. Like, I don't blame my parents for this, but we never really had like a sex talk. It was just not really talked about. Like, we talked about, like, I can remember conversations with like my mom and my sisters at the dinner table, like, yeah, what would happen if I would get pregnant? Like stuff like that, and like, you know, so it did came up like that, but we never had like a sit down conversation about like, you know, this is what you do. And when I first had my period when I was 10, I just used pads. And then I got like this tampon was in this package, and I was like, I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know where it went. I didn't really know what it looked like down there. I had no idea. So originally it was just like kind of feeling around to see, you know, where this tampon would go. And then, you know, the kind of feeling around turned into a bit more feeling around and actually feeling pretty good. And that's kind of how it started. So it wasn't like I was like necessarily, it wasn't a sexual thing at the time. It became a sexual thing afterwards. But even then, like, I never talked to anyone about this. And I remember even like in my head, if I would be thinking like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, like masturbate when I go to bed, I would not even think the word masturbate. I would call it like the thing or something, or my thing. Like I would somehow even feel bad about that. Well, even no one ever even mentioned that word to me in like a negative way or anything, but in my head it was like a bad thing already. So I would just like not talk about it, not even think the word masturbate. Like, yeah, that's like when, you know, with my mom and stuff, we're pretty open. So it's not like that would have been necessarily a taboo. So I can only imagine if you're like raised in like a very conservative or like religious family where it is definitely not an okay thing to do, how that would be. But yeah, so that's kind of how it started for me. I'll just go through this list of benefits and then I'll just, you know, give my opinion. Plenty of research has shown the health benefits of masturbation. Masturbation can release sexual tension. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, I'm 26 and I'm a virgin. So, you know, this comes in handy. I don't know if I would still be a virgin if I didn't, like, knew what to do with myself. It reduces stress, which is true, because, you know, it gets you, like, all these nice little hormones. It helps you sleep better. This is very true. So I know some girls that I have talked this about, or like on Facebook groups and stuff, yeah, they all say like, you know, if you have like insomnia or something, this might help you a little. Improve your self-esteem and body image. I guess, yeah, that's true, but I feel like maybe if you're really bad body image, you might not even do it that quickly. So it kind of goes, I guess, hand in hand. Help treat sexual problems, relieve menstrual cramps and muscle tension. Yes, because it gives you like these hormones that relax you. So, you know, masturbation on your periods. It strengthens muscle tone in your pelvic and anal areas. Wow. So yeah, basically, also, masturbation helps you figure out what you like sexually, which, you know, I'm not having sex with anyone, but I know what I like and I know what buttons to push. So I would assume that would be helpful if I do have sex with a person. So yeah, just like how much pressure feels good, what spots feel good, what spots do not feel good, you know, things like that. Also, generally speaking, I don't know, like this is what I read, I've done some research on this stuff, but a lot of women cannot orgasm from just penetration. So, or cannot have an orgasm with a partner. So it would be helpful to know that you can at least have an orgasm on your own, because at least then you know it's not impossible for you to have an orgasm. You just need to figure out, you know, the right buttons to push, so to say. Also, medical issues like vaginismus, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's basically where your vagina like tenses up. So people that have that can often not even get a tampon in. You could figure this out before having sex with someone if you masturbate. Like, it's just like all these things, you get to know your body. You know when there's something off down there. So I also think it really shocked me when I realized, like, I've been in some like Facebook groups and forums and stuff, that there are women, like adult women, that do not know what they look like down there. That's just like mind-baffling to me. So yeah, get a mirror, have a look down there, you know, feel around a little bit. I don't think that's a bad thing. That's a good thing. Like, it's a good thing to know your body, what you like, what you don't like. Also, how much masturbation is too much? I would say it's not too much unless it starts interfering with your life. Like, you have to do it at work, you feel this compulsion to do it at work or in public places, or then you might have a problem. But generally, you know, I think it kind of, I don't know if that's just for me or for everyone, but it kind of fluctuates. You know, sometimes it's every day, sometimes it's multiple times a day, sometimes it's not at all for like months or weeks. So I guess it just depends on the person. Some people never masturbate, and that's okay too if you don't want to. Masturbating in a relationship, is that wrong or right? Honestly, I don't think that's wrong, because it's also important to keep your relationship with yourself and your body intact, even if you're with someone else. You know, that doesn't necessarily mean that your partner is not enough for you or something, but sometimes you need, you know, some me time. So yeah, and then well, then obviously there's heaps of ways you can masturbate. You know, you can, usually people start out using their hands, but there are lots and lots of other options these days that you can get. So like this guy. Yeah, so I'm not gonna really discuss all of that in this video. I could do a sex toy video if you really want to, but yeah, just like this video. If we get over 50 likes on this video, I'll do a sex toy video of what I have. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just leave it at that for now. Please let me know in the comments how you feel about it. If you have any questions or anything, you can leave them in the comments or DM me on Instagram, and I hope to see you next time.